They are Rick Scott and Shari Ulrich. For another generation, they were two-thirds of one of the most talented musical collectives Vancouver has ever produced. They were known then and are fondly remembered now as Pied Pumpkin. The other two members, of course, were Joe Mock and the beloved Moose the Dog. Canadians know Rick Scott as the original BC host of CBC Switchback and is a prominent member of Anne Mortifee's Reflections on a Crooked Walking. Shari Ulrich we all know from her solo career and from co-hosting Future Scan along with David Suzuki and from her countless concerts both in BC and across Canada with Valdi and the Hometown Band. And it all started on the streets of Vancouver.
Our best was playing at the BC ferries in the summertime when they would be stacked up like 3 and 4 sailings and they would be so fried sitting in the sun, and we'd have a new audience every hour. As they shipped out our last audience, we'd play for the new one. It was great.
And you passed the hat?
Oh, yeah. Very good living, actually.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
Rick, what I noticed about you almost immediately was that although you were a folk group, for all intents and purposes, you had all the moves of a rock and roller, even with, you know, playing your dulcimer.
Yeah, that was the first thing, was rock and roll. It was also, we were a folk act, but in fact we were a dance band. Yeah. That's what happened when we played, was people danced.
What was the magic of Pied Pumpkin? What was the chemistry?
Of course, that kind of chemistry is something that isn't possible to describe and explain. But when we hit that stage, there was an immediacy of it and a spontaneity that I've never experienced since, and is to me the heart of music. And I'm so glad, I'm so grateful that I experienced that very early in my career.
Looking at it wall-eyed, you know, a little bit out of focus as you look at the whole thing. It was a triangle. It was a, you know, a very strong kind of standing thing of 3 people, and one was the heart, and one was the stone, and one was the fool. And then we covered that emotional aspect too.
And I've been so long, trying not to turn on.
There was something that was so unique and so special, and I'm sure none of us will ever find that again in our musical lives. And it was a forced ending by my going off to be in the Hometown Band.
Rick, from the ashes of Pied Pumpkin came Pied Pear, and you carried on.
Yeah, we released 3 more albums after that, and there's a bunch of tapes that never got released.
So here we are. It's 1988, and what does the future hold for you, Shari?
I would just like my career to be able to sustain itself at a minimum, at being able to do concerts and make records and write great songs.
My future is, I'm pretty diversified right now. I'm writing stuff. I'm writing a radio musical, historical radio musical. I'm going to be working on a show called Angry Housewives again, and starting April 4th. And I've got a billion songs that need to be recorded, and I've got a children's musical that has to be written. The concept's there. I need about $3.4 million to do some of these things. If there's anybody out there that...
Hey, I'll share in that.
Yes.
How many?
I'll split
Might
it
as well
with you.
just double it.
Okay, 6.8 mil. And you could have 2 of the hottest talent properties ever.
The third member of Pied Pumpkin, Joe Mock, is doing his thing in clubs all over Tokyo. And Moose the Dog, well, he's chasing raccoons in dog heaven.